Some have spoken of the Holy Communion itself as a miracle. At first I didn't understand that idea, but now I see that it's an appropriate name after all. It is miraculous simply because of the fact that we confess that in, with, and under the bread we have Christ's true body coming to us, and in, with, and under the wine we have his holy precious blood. Now that doesn't mean we're cannibals or something like that, or that Jesus is getting smaller every year as people die on his body. This is ridiculous. This is not what we mean. But we do mean that we take very seriously when Jesus says, "This is my body." He knew the word for "this symbolizes my body," or "this stands for" or "represents." He didn't use that term. This is why when Luther was confronted by the others at the time of the Reformation who claimed that this only stands for, Luther took chalk and wrote on the table, "Hoc est corpus meum." This is, underlining the est part. Now, where did Luther get that idea, and why does Roman Catholicism to the present day, and Lutheranism and the Episcopalians and others confess the true nature of Christ's body and the sacrament as Christ's blood? Well, St. Paul's commentary in 1 Corinthians 10, when he says the bread which we break, is it not the koinonia, the communion, the being together with of Christ's body? And whoever eats of this bread or drinks of this wine unworthily is guilty of the body and blood of Christ. Hey, those are realistic terms, and that's why we find a miracle here, and that's why we believe it's not just symbolic or representative. God himself is truly present here in the sacrament. And again, if this is so hard to believe, I ask you, is God localized anywhere, or does he fill all things? I think the answer is he fills all things. And therefore, is it impossible for God somehow to be present in the sacrament in Christ? I don't think so. God can do anything. We can't understand it. This side of eternity, we can't understand how 3 equals 1 in the Trinity. Someday we'll understand. God's thinking is higher than our thinking. God's foolishness is higher than our wisdom, as Paul puts it so beautifully. So indeed, that's why the sacrament is so very sacred. This is why it's a symbol. More than a symbol. It's a mnemonic device, first of all, a memory jogger. Do this in remembrance of me. But then it's more than a symbol. It communicates actually the body and blood of Christ. And it's a wonderful comfort for Christians, because they don't have to worry about whether they're mentally receiving this properly. Do they have enough faith or not? Indeed, the very fact that they've ingested this marvelous gift of God is itself a physical, almost outside proof that their sins are forgiven.